What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update. We cover it all here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's one of the only things free left here in our economy, and I will keep you up to date here. Senator Bernie Sanders, along with the Democrats, have introduced an actual bill here a few days ago. This is directly from Senator Chris Von Hollins, a U.S. Senator from the state of Maryland, to expand Social Security and increase benefits by $2,400 per year and extend the solvency for 75 years afterwards. If I zoom this in here, you can see here, quote, "For decades, Americans have depended on the Social Security benefits that they've earned. Yet this vital program has been under attack, threatening working families' financial security. We've got to fight to protect it and ensure Americans can rely on it for years to come." That's why I'm joining Senator Bernie Sanders to introduce this legislation to shore up Social Security and provide the certainty folks deserve. At a time when half of older Americans have no retirement savings at all and basically rely on only Social Security, and millions of senior citizens are living in poverty, our job is not to cut Social Security, said Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders. Our job must be to expand Social Security so that every senior citizen in America can retire with dignity they deserve, and every person with a disability can live with the security they need. And we do that by demanding that the wealthiest people in America finally pay their fair share of taxes. It is absurd that a billionaire in America pays the same amount of Social Security taxes as someone making $147,000 a year. It is time to scrap the cap, expand benefits, and fully fund Social Security. I am very proud that the Social Security Administration has estimated that our legislation to expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year will fully fund Social Security for the next 75 years by applying the payroll tax on all income, including capital gains, above $250,000 a year. But you can see here, Senator Bernie Sanders says Social Security is an economic lifeline for millions of Americans, but seniors are struggling with rising costs. As Republicans try to phase out Social Security and raise taxes on more than 70 million hardworking Americans, I'm working with Senator Sanders to, this is from Senator Elizabeth Warren, to expand Social Security and extend its solvency by making the wealthy pay their fair share so everyone can retire with dignity. Now, note here that you see here above, they said, "I'm very proud that the Social Security Administration has estimated that our legislation to expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year will fully fund Social Security for the next 75 years. By applying the payroll tax on all income, including capital gains, for people who make above $250,000 a year, that means that they would pay this additional tax to pay for these extra benefits for everybody." Now, I'll let you hear the Republican counterpoint, Senator Lindsey Graham. And I have another video here from Senator Bernie Sanders where you can hear him actually talk. Really good video there where they're talking about more details about the $2,400 raise. There's also another provision of this bill that would raise the Social Security benefits to 125% of the federal poverty level. So that would currently raise benefits to $1,415 per month. based on what the current federal poverty level is right now. And note that the current federal poverty level goes up. I believe it's every single year. Um, I'm not sure if it goes up every year, but it did go up here in the last year. Okay. And I'll link you to that video on Senator Bernie Sanders talking about this here at the end of this. But here is Republican Senator Lindsey Graham's rebuttal. And he has a different kind of point of view. They both kind of somewhat agree on raising the taxes on the wealthy somewhat. Here, check this out and let me know your thoughts on this.
And I take a different view about how to save Social Security. Mine's more realistic. Yours is a fantasy, but the problem is real. And you're a good man. You're consistent. Every time there's a problem, tax the rich. Count me in for more revenue. We're going to need more revenue. But if you think taxing the wealthy is going to save Social Security, you're wrong. So where are we with Social Security? By 2034, according to the recent trust fund report, the money in Social Security will require us to reduce benefits so that you can get only 77% of the benefits you owed because we're paying out more than we're taking in. That's a fact. It slipped a year, but we're on a glide path where over time, Senator Romney knows this, the money being paid in and the money taken out doesn't add up. And if you don't do something now, you're going to have a draconian choice of cutting benefits and raising taxes to keep the thing afloat. But here's the good news. We got some time if we act together. And here's the model I would suggest, the Reagan-O'Neill model. And I think it's in the 80s, Greenspan Commission was formed by President Reagan. Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan were known to have a drink together. And apparently during one of those discussions, they said, well, let's do something about Social Security because it's going broke. So they got Alan Greenspan and a bunch of folks to come up with some ideas. They did a little more on the revenue side, but they adjusted the age of retirement over time from 65 to 67. I just got my first Social Security check a few months ago. I was eligible 66, I think, in 2 months. In my case, when I was 21 and 22, my mom and dad died within about 15 months of each other. I had a 13-year-old sister. We moved in with an aunt and uncle who worked in textile plants in South Carolina. Probably never made over $30,000 in her life. The survivor benefit portion of Social Security for my sister until she got 18 really helped us get by. Now I am 66, soon will be 67. I have a good salary. I have a military retirement. I have a congressional pension plan. If you ask me to take a little less to save Social Security for people who need it more than I do, count me in. And it's going to take that kind of commitment from all of us. The wealthier people are going to have to take a little less in benefits. Younger people are living longer, so we're going to have to adjust the age probably once again. But here's the fact. In 1955, when I was born, there were 8.6 workers for every retiree. In 1990, there was 3.4. In 2022, there's 2.8. By 2050, there's 2.2. Senator Romney's done everything he can personally to save Social Security. If you ever go to a Romney family reunion, you'll see a lot of people going to pay into Social Security. I have let you down. I'm not married with no kids. It's people like me screwing this thing up. So the bottom line here is that we have fewer people working for the number of people retired. And if that doesn't create a problem, then I think you're missing the point. 2.2 people by the middle of the century are not going to generate the amount of money necessary to keep the fund solvent if we don't make some changes. So what are the changes that Simpson, Bowles, the Gang of Six, kind of bipartisan people have looked at? Adjusting the age of retirement, increasing revenue, and trying to make the benefit structure more efficient. So I don't need a lecture about Social Security. I understand the value of the program because when I was 22, lost both parents, had a 13-year-old sister to take care of, the money really mattered. It matters to a lot of people on retirement. It's their primary source of income. I'm at a stage now where I could wouldn't change my lifestyle to have a smaller COLA for me, maybe none at all, but smaller for sure. and to restructure the benefit schedule so the money will be there for people who need it more than I do. I don't know how to solve this problem without all of us working together. I know that what Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill did in the 1980s worked for a while. We got to do that again. They didn't go to the approach of Senator Sanders of just taxing the wealthy because it's not going to work as a standalone proposition. So the country is in a world of hurt. Our financial house is not in order. By 2031, we'll have $2 trillion in annual deficits. The national debt by 2032 will be $40 trillion. By 2052, debt to GDP will be 185%. That's a separate problem from Social Security, but Social Security is sort of consumed in that. Now, the trustee report assumes something about the viability of the trust fund, Mr. Chairman. They assumed about a 3.5% inflation rate. Well, we know now that that's not exactly what's going on. Interest rates are going up. Inflation rates are at 8%. Every increase in interest rates is about $200 billion debt service. So we're on a trajectory now. There we go. We're on a trajectory where inflation is higher than anticipated, which puts stress on the trust fund. Interest rates are going up, which will put stress on the economy. So what I propose we do is have this discussion. You can blame us if you would like, but you're not going to be able to blame me for not caring, because I do. And I will challenge your assumptions about how to save the system, understanding you're a patriotic American and you want to do what you think is best. But in your world, we're all the bad guys and you figured this out. You haven't figured it out. What you're selling doesn't work. And we'll have a good discussion about what will work. It will be bipartisanship. It won't be the Sanders plan. It won't be individual private accounts. That might be part of the mix, who knows? The bottom line is we're going to have to make some hard decisions. I stand ready to make those hard decisions. Senator Romney has been terrific. Senator Romney wants somebody outside of politics to give us some information, like we have with Simpson Bowles, like we have with the Gang of Six, to adjust Social Security and stop it from running out of money by 2034 and having to reduce benefits. And I think he and others on our side, and people on your side, quite frankly, are willing to do this. And I would invite President Biden to be part of it. I would love to be able to sit down with the administration and see if we can recreate the momentum for Simpson Bowles or the Gang of Six, where we put on the table something of everything, where everybody has to give a little bit to save a system worth saving. So if this is an election year issue, great. I think it needs to be talked about, and we're going to talk about it in terms on our side that is a little more holistic than just tax the rich. Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts here on that? Definitely, there's part of the Republican view there. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, who is taking part of the lead there, along with Republican Senator Mitt Romney. They've been working on reforming Social Security for the Republican Party. Senator Bernie Sanders working on it for the Democratic Party, along with Senator Elizabeth Warren and several others there. So, Senator Bernie Sanders, they want to raise benefits because they say we can afford it. We're the richest country in the history of the world. And this new plan, they say that the Social Security Administration did the math and it would still, we would still be solvent for 75 years if you raise the benefits, but quote, tax the wealthy on it. I showed it to you there on the screen here. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. It's the problem here is getting Republicans, Democrats to come together, pass a bill. I would think that Democrats could be able to pass something like this through the reconciliation process because remember the main rule for something like that would be that it has to affect the budget, and this would definitely affect the budget. So I would think that something like Social Security absolutely would affect the budget because it absolutely would. Now, whether or not that would happen is yet to be determined. I think that the Congressional Budget Office would have to do more calculations there. And, I'll link you to that video here with Senator Bernie Sanders giving you his point of view. Very, very strong point of view from Senator Bernie Sanders. I think that, the Republican point of view is more of, I don't want to say cut benefits, but it's more of, definitely not increased benefits. And I'm not picking sides or anything. That's just kind of from what I can see from the analysis. Um, and it is a kind of a tough situation here because you would think that if Social Security is quote going to run out of money at some point in the future, they've been saying that for a while. Now, remember, the government is taking in more money now. In fact, they just increased Social Security's the amount of money in there. It actually increased the date by a year because the government's taking in more money now. More people have gone back to work now. Remember that unemployment at 3.6% is near a historic low. It's at a 50-year low right now. So more money's flowing in right now. But you've seen Lindsey Graham's graph there that there's more retirees than there has been in the past. Okay, so that's kind of an issue there. But they're going to have to tweak the system somehow, whether it's more taxes on wealthy earners or. But the question here is, can they raise benefits and do that at the same time? The Social Security Administration says that Bernie Sanders and the Democrats plan that it could be done and still be solvent. I'll show you the headline again here. Yeah, right here from the Senate page. Expand Social Security by $2,400 a year and extend the solvency for 75 years. So, and they said that this was, quote, verified by the Social Security Administration. So it is a very interesting proposal to say that could be done, but the math could back it up because if you're taking in more money on the backside, giving it out on the front side, well, in theory, it could be done. The other thing that I've always kind of said is realistically, they could just give more money to Social Security. You kind of think about the money that they plundered from the Social Security Trust Fund. Remember that, back in the day, they really just kind of dipped into Social Security's money and said, well, Social Security's got all this money just sitting there. The US government just kind of started using it, dipping into it. And well, now look at the quote solvency issues, right? It's still out a ways in the future, but they could always give the money back. They also could quote bail out Social Security. We think about the billions and billions and billions of dollars that have gone to bailing out other businesses like banks, airlines, car companies, GM, all those companies. If they could spend billions and billions of dollars for any of those companies or anything like that, the economy, they surely could bail out Social Security. And I think if push comes to shove, they honestly would. Um, yeah, but I mean, you let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Definitely a interesting point of view. When they do something, what they do, whether raises come, in addition to the cost of living adjustment raises, which is predicted to be the largest one ever coming up here. We'll talk about that in an upcoming video. But let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Make sure to subscribe down below. I'll link you to that Bernie Sanders video talking about the $2,400 raise here next. But if you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After you click subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live and you don't miss out on new videos. You can click here to see my newest video with Senator Bernie Sanders talking about that $2,400 Social Security raise. And here's my newest video on stimulus checks. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.